But we're about to hit a team breathwork session, which is a ritual we've done. Ritual every fight. We basically charge up with our breath, and it's like a deep, long meditation. The first session I ever did, it was so powerful. I started crying, I started laughing.
And we're using a breathwork technique to go into a non-ordinary state.
It just brings up so many emotions.
So he says we're going to use a breath technique to go into a non-ordinary state. That's what the guy just said.
Thoughts. Maybe there's some weird spiritual higher powers controlling this career.
Maybe there's some weird spiritual higher powers controlling this career. And this guy, by the way, made $45 million last year. He was Forbes' #2 most paid YouTuber and influencer. And he says maybe there's some spiritual higher powers controlling his career. There are. They're called demons.
Jake was brave or stupid to get in that ring with Joshua. Cody Garbrandt would tweet, Tank would have knocked him out faster. Aljamain Sterling says, this is a clown show. Nate Diaz would tweet, don't be scared. Diaz would follow up with, that boy don't work hard enough. Josh Emmett would tweet, I've never seen so many double legs in a boxing match. Arnold Billy Allen says, hate that I'm watching this. Brendan Shaw would react to the fight tweeting, this Joshua vs. Paul fight is weird. By weird, I mean Joshua isn't cutting off ring or throwing serious punches. Not a single straight right hand. Get your money, boys. Shaw would follow up with, man, I'm a Jake fan, but that was strange. Anatomy of a Fighter would tweet, I don't give a what none of y'all say, respect to Jake Paul. Anthony Joshua calls out Tyson Fury after stopping Jake Paul in round 6. If Tyson Fury wants to put down his Twitter fingers, come and fight. Let's run it next. The MMA Guru would follow up with, Anthony Joshua puts down Jake Paul bad with a KO blow and Paul barely misses the count. That was a real fight. And Anthony Joshua just got humiliated by Jake Paul. 6 rounds.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.
Let's get high, yeah, you know I'm about to roll. Let's get please, yeah, you know I gotta pull. Let's live life, live once I'm about to turn up. Get fly, oh for sure it's about to go up. Let's get high, yeah, you know I'm about to roll. Let's get please, yeah, you know I gotta pull. Let's live life, live once I'm about to turn up. Get fly, oh for sure it's about to go up. Roll my blunt and pass my lighter. Lit pop shit, get higher. I'm the hottest, call me fire. Rock out, jump up, live my life up.
Family, we are back. Thank you for your time and attention while we review and react to a lot of these things that we see and hear. I want to start here though. I really had to do this video because nothing sits right about this situation. I don't know where to start, honestly, but this Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua thing, it screamed ritual, and that's just, to me, allegedly, and it screamed unnatural. It was nothing organic about this thing. And I must say this, there's nothing organic about Jake Paul's boxing career. He placed himself in these situations. Now, my son will watch, there's another Paul dude that, I think he has a son. My son used to watch them, and I would watch the dude practice boxing in his house and all this stuff, but we never saw any amateur fights. I don't understand when and where and how this guy just upped and got to the big leagues, but nevertheless, he's here. Now, real quick, I want to insert this clip. You saw it at the beginning of the video. They were describing a ritualistic meetup in which they practice a certain type of breathing. And this certain type of breathing tends to invoke spirits, thoughts, things like that. This man said he went from crying to laughing. That's no pre-fight ritual I want to be a part of. Like, really, what type of breathing technique are you doing that's gonna make you cry and laugh? And it makes you feel prepped to go out here and have a boxing match. I just thought that was really weird to accredit your performance to higher or lower or darker entities, to say the least. But it's something more, you guys, and this is why I made this video, because it just didn't seem right. The fight even looked like a ritual. Even if you look at the crowd, why is the crowd red? The crowd is red. You gotta make it make sense. Check out this clip.
But we're about to hit a team breathwork session, which is a ritual we've done. Every fight, we basically charge up with our breath, and it's like a deep, long meditation. The first session I ever did, it's so powerful. I started crying, I started laughing.
And we're using a breathwork technique to go into a non-ordinary state.
It just brings up so many emotions,
So he says we're going to use a breath technique to go into a non-ordinary state. That's what the guy just said.
thoughts. Maybe there's some weird spiritual higher powers controlling this career.
Maybe there's some weird spiritual higher powers controlling this career. And this guy, by the way, made $45 million last year. He was Forbes' #2 most paid YouTuber and influencer. And he says maybe there's some spiritual higher powers controlling his career. There are. They're called demons.
We've been speaking about these streamers lately and how they're doing things that are kind of different, and some people might call them rituals. I feel like this last night was a humiliation ritual. I really do. It was no answer for a lot of the things that we saw, and I only saw highlights. I didn't watch the full fight, but when I saw the pants and the boots of Jake Paul, I knew what it was. You got the fire flames. Okay, cool. But when you go on and you watch the fight, it's weird because it's almost like he was in a different element. I'm not saying he's some great boxer, but I've never seen a person just hit their knees with their head in a... I've never seen a person hit their knees so many times. And then the way he was doing it was just like, bro, come on. We watched this dude run as if he was scared the whole fight, the entire fight. I feel like it was scripted. I really do. Sort of like when people watch the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight, when they were talking about certain symbols or things that was going on between the two to let them know, hey, don't go too hard. Last night was different though. It was really different. We watched this dude humiliate himself, and he's grabbing on this person's leg. He's falling with his head in their lap. And I just feel like he was better than what we saw last night. And once again, he's not a great fighter to me. But come on. It was just weird. In a 3-minute session, a 3-minute highlight video rather, this man was on his knees like 6 times. Now, the thing that got me to really smooth it over for me was he called it 6th round before the fight. Now, he didn't say he'd be going down. Jake didn't say he'd be going down in the 6th round. He said the other guy. But how did they know the 6th round? This thing, y'all, it's just different, to say the least. Make sure you pay attention to everything you see, you guys. Make sure you question everything you see and hear. Even if you hear it from me, question it. Period. Question it. Because what we're seeing, or what we saw, was somebody humiliate themselves. He got a bag from it, but this is a thing. While you're out there sticking out your tongue in a ritualistic way like the lamb, allegedly, and you're doing these things, getting all this money, you're not gonna keep using these people's platforms and this and that to get all this money. We need something from you. And I think Jake gave it to him last night. Let me know your thoughts, y'all. Let me know your thoughts. If you get a chance, if you haven't seen it, make sure you go check out the Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua full highlights. Definitely check it out and get back to me. I'm out. Peace.